Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror film reviews, ratings, rankings, and rumors. Now for your hosts, Danny, Joel, and Katrina.
Oh, yeah. This is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Kool-Aid Man Katrina. Oh, yeah. And we've got Bon Jovi Joel.
Hey, guys, what's up? I am living on a prayer.
All right. So we got a kind of a unique episode. Over the last couple of years, we've been trying to do prediction episodes for some of the bigger films, especially sequels that have been coming out. So a couple years ago, we did Halloween Ends prediction. Last year, we did a Scream 6. Yeah, we did a Scream 6 prediction, and now for Maxine. But this one's a little different because of the order of events that takes place and kind of the different characters and how are they going to be connected in this one. So we had X, which took place in the 70s. That was first, came out a couple years ago. If you don't know what that one is, there's an elderly couple and some kids, young 20-year-olds, rent out their like guest house on their farm to shoot an adult film. The elderly people, especially Pearl, doesn't like it. That's what they're doing. And we learn more in Pearl as to kind of her background. But we also learn in X that she's kind of missing her youth. She's really wanting to get back to that, and she's really pissed that these people on her property are able to explore this and become these movie stars that she always wanted to be. So it's a slasher. They try and kill all these people. They die, both of the elderly people, Pearl and I don't remember the guy's name.
Howard, I think.
Howard, yeah.
Howard, yeah.
Right. It's a pretty classic older name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Howie. And everybody else dies except for Maxine, who is played by Mia Goth. She also played Pearl in X. And then we had Pearl later that year that took place when the elderly woman named Pearl was 18 to 20 years old.
In 1918.
1918 during the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
And so we got to see kind of her journey and her attempt to get famous and how it didn't work out for her and how it pissed her off.
The spoilers, still on the farm, so in X. 70 years later.
still on that farm. Yeah. I mean, if you haven't seen these movies, I'm spoiling both of them for you. But we're talking about Maxine. So
I don't think you're
Maxine prediction. So
so she still lives on that farm. We can tell by X. Yeah. Pearl still lives there. She gets mad. She starts killing people at the end of Pearl. Because basically of what we saw in X, she doesn't like when other people are getting famous.
The spotlight.
Yeah. And so she wants to take it all for herself. And she shows that in Pearl, and she definitely shows it in X as well.
Well, especially like if she feels like people are taking it from her.
Yeah. So now we have Maxine, which, as I said, is the character that survived in X. Now we're going to follow her into the 80s. She is in Hollywood now, not in Texas, where they were filming the film in X.
Yeah.
And she is trying to become a movie star.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So that is where we land with
Interesting thing with that though also about with X is the TV that is on throughout the entire movie is showing a sermon from a televangelist. The subtitle said it was a televangelist. I don't think it actually was, but it was a sermon being done, and you find out that Maxine is the daughter of the televangelist. So
Yes.
I don't know how that's going to play into this.
Yeah.
But I don't think they would have mentioned that if it didn't play any sort of a part in this story. So
yeah, because that was toward the end of X, and that was kind of like like we didn't, it was not like a twist, but like a reveal, I guess. Because that TV is playing throughout the whole movie. Yeah, and
you see a picture of Maxine when she's younger, like that he's holding up and saying, "This is my daughter," and she's followed, like she's gone down the wrong path and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that plays a part.
I hope we kind of get some follow up on that in Maxine. That would be. Hopefully, they didn't forget about that.
I know. Some like throwaway thing that doesn't actually mean anything.
So we can assume, I think, that being that it's Maxine with 3 X's, she continues her adult film journey.
Yeah.
But from the trailer, it looks like she's trying to get into Hollywood motion pictures. You know, she wants to be taken seriously as a real actress.
Yeah.
Which she wanted before in X.
Yeah. She's I'm a effing movie star. Whatever she said. Yeah. So we've seen 2 trailers. Katrina's only seen 1. We did a trailer reaction a couple months ago or a month ago or something. So you can go back and check that out for our immediate reactions to that trailer. But some things that we know about this film is there is a killer on the loose, which is a real life killer.
Life killer.
the Night Stalker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we know that that's going to play a role in the film. We also know that there are some pretty big name actors in it with Kevin Bacon. And I can't remember the other guy's name. He always plays like he was in Abigail. He was the dude who set everything up. I can't think of his name.
Oh yeah. Giancarlo Esposito. He is also in what people probably know him most is from Breaking Bad.
Okay.
He was a main character in that. Villain actually. In that show. So he's really good. Yeah.
So we know that. We know that there is a threat of Maxine's past kind of coming into play with the investigation into the Night Stalker. So all while she's, trying to become famous. Apparently there's a backlot, like the Universal backlot is going to be involved because it shows the Psycho house and everything, and shows them riding around on a cart, like in the backlot and everything. So if you've been to Universal Studios, that's pretty cool that that's going to be in the movie. So I'll be looking forward to those things. But so first thing that I'm curious about is how this is going to be a horror film.
That's exactly what I keep thinking.
I mean, you got the Night Stalker.
You
got that.
Kind of a.
But that just seems more like a crime type of film.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem like a dark movie. Like
Pearl
a Seven or
necessarily like a horror movie. Like the way I would describe Pearl is like the Joker. Like it's basically it's taking apart a character and like seeing that character. I wouldn't necessarily consider that a horror movie. just because she does kill people at the end of the movie, but that's her her madness taking over. So I mean, I think that's kind of the similar approach that they're going to go with this. That people are going to die, so that's their like horror, quote unquote horror aspect of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I X
think
was a slasher movie.
That was a
Yeah.
straight horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Pearl had a lot of
Character.
tension and suspense, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
because who Pearl is.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Maxine was not a villain.
Yeah.
No.
In X.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
was one of the potential victims.
Mhm.
So we're not going to be following a villain like we did in Pearl.
No. Yeah.
The villain, I assume, is the Night Stalker.
Unless
It's going to be the villain. I don't know.
Maxine's gonna
Right.
actually be the Night
Yeah.
Stalker.
So that's what.
That's the
that's
thing.
what I want to talk about.
And I wonder if, like we talked about with her dad being this televangelist, if that will play into creating some of that tension and
Mhm.
bringing that horror to the film. Like, is something going to go on with
Mhm.
him
Mhm.
trying to bring her back, and that's what makes her flip?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and the events that she went through in X.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And maybe there's going to be parallels for Maxine to Pearl, right? Because there already
because
is.
that's the thing.
She's so focused on
Yeah.
becoming famous, like Pearl was.
Yeah.
And if she starts to lose jobs or not get jobs, as she's so motivated to,
Yeah.
maybe she's going to go the Pearl route. And
Well, and part of what
Make those
made
choices.
Pearl also lose it was her mom being so overbearing.
right.
And
right.
so with her
Mhm.
dad being like she's on the wrong path and trying to get her back, if he gets into her life or somehow gets access to her and becomes overbearing, and she's losing parts because he's messing things up for her,
Yeah.
then is that what's gonna kind of turn her into like a Pearl?
Yeah.
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 And there was a line in X because I just watched that one the day of filming this, X and
Mhm.
Pearl back to back, and there's a line Pearl tells the Maxine where she goes, "We're the same person, like
Mm.
we're the so
Literally.
yeah." They really are the same actors, but but I thought that was an interesting.
Maxine
Like,
says to Pearl.
Pearl says to
Pearl
Maxine.
says to Maxine. Yeah.
We're the
yeah.
same person. So that definitely could play into Maxine going into Hollywood and not getting any roles, and
Yeah.
being that whole end of Pearl part where she doesn't get the part, and that's when she had already gone crazy. She had already
Mhm.
killed most of the people that she was killing before that part, but that's like that was her breaking point, pretty much.
Mhm.
Like her not being able to escape this life anymore, and
Yeah.
so yeah, if she just doesn't get, because it's Hollywood's not going to take her seriously as an actress if she's an adult star, an adult
Yeah.
actress already. So that could lead her down this Night Stalker path.
Yeah.
That's
What I'm curious about is there's, like I said, this threat of the detectives kind of
mhm.
finding out something about her. I assume what happened in X.
Yeah.
Probably,
But
yeah.
she was a victim.
They don't know that though. They just see this crime scene and one
And
person
she
left.
just
She's the only
happens to be the
survivor.
only
Yeah,
survivor.
yeah. And she
I guess-
did.
I mean, I
murder
guess-
Pearl.
Yeah.
True.
Ran over her head,
And-
but
And her whole thing was, I'm going to Hollywood. Like that
Mhm.
was what
mhm.
she kind of decided at the end was that's where I'm
Yeah.
going. So she just, I guess,
Kind
never,
of bailed on the.
yeah, she just kind of took off, never looked back, and she was never
Mhm.
questioned, I guess. And there was no, because she has the same
Yeah.
name. There's no
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's not like she changed her identity. So there was no
Mhm.
follow up with, you know, maybe there's no record of her being there. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is
Yeah.
like, will the tapes that they were making
Right.
show up, and that's how
Mhm.
they connect her to the crime scene,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and are like, oh, you're part of that. Now you're in Hollywood, and now all these
Yeah.
things are
Another
happening
night,
around
yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, because
so,
it takes place a couple of years, like probably early 80s at this point.
mhm.
Maxine
Yeah, it said
was,
85.
and 85. Okay, so
Yeah.
like 7 years. Actually no, yeah, I think it was like anyway. So like 85. So she's already like been in movies at this point. Like she's
Yeah.
pretty much like the top of the porn industry at this point. So like her face is probably everywhere in the adult industry. So looking at that video from Texas, you know, you definitely will be able to see her face in that. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's why they're gonna be able to pinpoint her. But yeah, she just took off from what we understand. Like
Yeah.
fled
So I
Hollywood.
wonder, is Maxine gonna be the hero of the story or the good guy of
She
this
gets
story,
killed off
or
in the
is
first
she
20 minutes.
or
Well,
is
will
she gonna
she-
turn bad, evil,
Yeah.
and then that's it?
Maybe
are we
she'll
gonna get a follow
be
up
kind of
or
like the hero, but also the
like the
villain.
anti-hero?
Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
like I don't imagine that she's the actual Night Stalker,
Yeah.
but like I'm thinking kind of like Pearl, like where you're kind of rooting for her and also like, whoa, what the heck? Like
Mhm.
Pearl's like the hero and the villain all in one in Pearl. And so in
I don't know if she's a
Maxine,
hero.
I mean,
Like, she's
maybe
not
not a
fighting off a
hero. Maybe not a
Maybe
hero.
her
Her
but
mom-
she's
Her mom was a villain.
Yeah, I guess.
yeah,
Her
for
mom was
sure.
a total villain in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I imagine that Maxine's dad will be kind of perceived as that same way,
Yeah.
as Pearl's mom. And so maybe it's not a hero, but a like a star, you know,
Yeah.
like that's like that's
Mhm.
who you're going for. It's who you're rooting for.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she's the villain, right?
Yeah.
She's the one killing everyone.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I think it's gonna have a lot of parallels to Pearl.
Yeah.
In that way.
I think that's the only way they can connect the movies,
Yeah.
because Pearl is not about Maxine. So
Yeah.
No.
that
Yeah.
film she's not in it. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best way to connect the two
Yeah.
films.
And I wonder if Maxine will come across some like old films with Pearl in it,
Mm.
you know, like while she's, you know, trying to get
Did
some
she-
parts and
yeah.
whatever. Go ahead.
Did she do any? I mean, we don't really know like Pearl's. Like we just know that she never really left the farm, but we don't know exactly what happened. I guess in those like 70 years
Yeah.
in between Pearl and Maxine, which I really hope Ty West does one more movie. I want another Pearl movie.
Yeah.
I want one more Pearl movie
Oh, heck yeah.
with Pearl and Howard, like just like murdering people.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of got that with X, but like, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
like a
them,
younger when they're younger.
yeah, in their
Yeah.
prime, yeah.
Yeah, in their prime. Yeah.
Their prime murdering ages.
Yeah.
I would like to
Um,
think that she did do some films.
Yeah, maybe
She could have, yeah.
I'm
could've, for
rooting for
sure.
her.
She seemed to be pretty psychotic at the
Yes.
end.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess you can really get into character. Maybe she
I mean,
played a
yeah.
slasher villain in some
Yeah.
movies.
Well, yeah.
And there's a couple of things that would be kind of strange if they went in those directions. One being if she does become the Night Stalker, just because the Night Stalker is a real person in real life.
Yeah.
And also if she kills the Night Stalker, because I'm pretty sure he's still alive in
No.
real life. I don't.
Oh wait, yeah, he's still
The
alive.
Night Stalker is
Yeah.
I think is in prison.
Yeah.
So going in either of those directions kind of seem a little weird to me, because
Yeah, I would hope that they
you're
would.
messing with actual like
History.
like
Mhm.
actual crime, like crimes that have been committed, and
Yeah.
this isn't a Quentin Tarantino movie where you can just like murder Hitler.
Change
And you're-
history.
Create your own timeline. Yeah. Yeah, I feel
Um,
like they wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have faith in them.
Well,
yeah. I just don't know where that movie goes then, because
yeah.
they focused a lot on the Night Stalker in the trailer,
In the trailer.
not
Yeah,
as
they do.
much on Maxine, or
Yeah.
just as much with Maxine as they do the Night Stalker, which kind of feels like you're headed into like a one-on-one kind of fight with Maxine and the Night Stalker, but you can't have Maxine win that fight because
Well, but
That's
that would
not-
make no sense because the Night
Yeah.
Stalker had no motive. It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
It wasn't
no.
like he was hunting anybody. It was
Yeah.
just all random,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
is why he was able to do it for so long.
yeah,
So he wouldn't be out to get Maxine because that
Mhm.
just wouldn't make sense.
I think what could happen is like someone that she's close with, someone that she's been working with, in the industry, becomes a victim of the Night Stalker, and maybe like multiple people that she is close with, and that's why then the
Mhm.
spotlight goes on her as to, oh, all these people surrounding you are now becoming victims of
Yeah.
the Night Stalker. So how are you not part of this?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. I just think that's how it'd tie in.
Yeah. So with that, because her whole thing is she wants to be famous. She wants the world to know who she is. So on one hand, she could hunt down the Night Stalker
Mhm.
and have that kind of like fame that she's the one who took out the Night Stalker, and now she's now everyone knows who she is. Or because he's getting so much publicity and so much fame that she wants that herself. And so she
Mhm.
becomes not the Night Stalker, but another serial killer.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah. I like
So,
that.
Yeah,
I
maybe-
like it going in that way.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, it shows her like throughout the film trying to get these roles. She keeps getting denied. She
Mhm.
keeps seeing the Night Stalker stuff on the news, and then so she just turns in that direction.
And they
Yeah.
already think I am the Night Stalker or whatever. So
Might as well be it.
okay, I'll give them something to talk about. Yeah,
Okay, I could see
Yeah.
that. That would be
I like
cool.
that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So yeah, I mean, another Pearl movie would be cool.
Mhm.
Depending on how this one ends, who knows what might come after that, and who knows what we'll get in the end credits
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
each of these. We've gotten,
Yeah.
the Pearl trailer, the Maxine,
Mhm.
Hollywood sign. So we'll see. Ty West and Mia Goth seem to be working pretty well together, and
Yeah.
putting some good stuff out there.
Yeah, although there was conflict with this during the filming of this one. Do you guys remember talking
Yeah,
about
with
that?
Mia Goth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She like kicked someone in the head.
Yeah.
A little
Apparently.
extra. Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, we haven't really heard anything about
Allegedly.
that. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened with that, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's been in several movies and nothing like that has ever come out before. So like I'm not saying that he's lying, but I don't know. You gotta be it's the whole thing is innocent until proven guilty. Like she's not in trial right now for
Yeah.
this. There's no civil court. There's
think
really
it was
nothing going on with that.
Yeah. There's no criminal case. I don't
Yeah.
know if there was a lawsuit that was being filed, and that's why this
Mhm.
got into the news, and then we just didn't hear about it anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was after all the Scream drama with
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa Barrera and
Yeah.
Jenna Ortega and everything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so they just needed to make sure they were still in the news too. They're like, yeah, kick him in the face.
Yeah. Remind
I mean,
them that
if it
we're
act-
filming this movie right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about Scream.
I mean, if it really happened, that's kind of messed up. But
Yeah.
there's nothing else that has happened
Yeah.
with it.
Well, apparently it's during a scene where this person was laying in like it was like a massacre.
Yeah.
It was like a bunch of
Red,
like,
a bunch of
the
bodies
ground.
on the ground and
Yeah.
blood everywhere, and she's walking through it.
Yeah.
So
And the thing with it
Where does
was
that
that
happen?
she didn't. It wasn't that she kicked him. It was that she almost kicked him.
oh, was it?
Yeah. Yeah. There
Oh.
was no actual, like, the whole thing was that, like, well, the working conditions was another thing.
Yeah.
But they basically sign like their life away when they join in on a movie like that. So they, there's script, there's a whole bunch of paperwork that they have to fill out that actually tells them like how they're going to be working and stuff. But the thing is that she almost kicked him, which is what like started it, the whole thing. It's like, she's walking around a bunch of bodies. Like, how do you want her to walk around you? I don't know. That was what the whole thing was about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah.
I was thinking she actually did, and he was like saying that he got like injured from it.
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure what it was that she almost stepped on him or almost kicked him or something. And I'm pretty sure that's how that went. I gotta look at it again, but I'm pretty sure that was what happened with that.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm
Okay.
excited to see a scene with all these bodies.
Yeah,
with
maybe
her
we
walking
can-
through it.
yeah.
Point out that scene, see if she almost
Like, oh, she did
steps
kick
on
him.
people. It's like a big part of the scene. Like, she actually kicks him.
He just kept that part in to the movie.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will say, Joel, I think I like your prediction and your route the most as to what we've been talking
It
about.
would be
I
pretty
do
fun.
think the Pearl parallels will be cool. I think that
Mhm.
has to, you have to do that. They've already set it up so much
Mhm.
that it's like, yeah,
Mhm.
we gotta
Yeah.
make that connection even stronger between Pearl and
Mhm.
Maxine because
Yeah.
they are basically the same person.
Yeah.
But I think the whole Night Stalker thing and then her trying to get famous so she becomes a
Mhm.
serial killer to like overshadow the Night Stalker, maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe her kills are more gruesome and
You
maybe
gotta
they're
step it up
higher.
for the next time.
Yeah, they're higher profile people. Maybe they're
Mhm.
actors in Hollywood, so it's
Yeah.
gonna get more press.
Mhm.
That sounds
That
good
would
to
be
me.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That would be a horror film. So
Yeah.
let's do that. Let's do that.
And
And then we got
80s was full of serial killers,
Yeah.
especially in Los Angeles. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And you got all the investigation going on, so we're following
Mhm.
her. She's trying to, dodge the police and all that.
Yeah.
So, okay. I think you might be onto something there. Were you
I
thinking
hope
of this
that would be pretty
before,
cool.
or did you just
No.
think of that while we're talking?
It was while we were talking. I think Katrina had said something that like sparked that that in me. That for me. It would be cool to either go the route of her taking out the Night Stalker to get that fame, or becoming a serial killer to get fame in a different way.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what it was that Katrina mentioned, but it just like sparked those two thoughts.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
All right.
Very
Yeah.
cool. You're
Cool.
welcome
oh, yeah, thanks.
for sparking the thought
Yeah.
that brought the best prediction to the show.
Yeah. So let us know what your predictions are. Let us know what you like about what we said, what you don't like. what you want to happen, what you don't want to happen in this movie. Do you want sequels? You know, all of that stuff in the comments. Send us a message. Let us know if you like the show or not. Like and subscribe. Find us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and we're on Patreon, patreon.com/scaretalk, for you to get exclusive videos, reviews of movies that we don't put on other platforms, only on Patreon, and all the spoilers of all the movies that we review. And with that being said, I think we've gone pretty deep into predictions.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other potential outcomes, thoughts?
No.
We
No?
didn't mention like
Yeah.
who might die in this movie, but we don't know
Don't
the
really know any
We don't know
characters.
who they are.
Yeah,
Oh,
so-
Yeah.
There's no returning
Yeah.
characters. They're all dead.
Yeah.
For X, so
Yeah. Yeah. The only
Alright.
thing left I have to say is that this has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let Maxine bite.